Silent watchers. Director Sarah Chen stood before the holographic display in the Lunar Defense Command Center, watching as the alien fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Kuiper Belt. 27 ships of varying sizes, their hulls gleaming with an otherworldly metal that seemed to drink in the starlight. She allowed herself a small smile. Everything was proceeding exactly as humanity had planned for the last 3 centuries. Status of the masking field, she asked, her voice steady despite the historical weight of the moment. Operating at full capacity, Director, replied Dr. Marcus Webb, Chief of Quantum Operations. As far as their sensors can tell, Earth is still using primitive radio telescopes and chemical rockets. The quantum shield is masking everything from our lunar bases to the Mars colonies. This wasn't humanity's first encounter with alien life. In 1947, a scout ship had crashed in the New Mexican desert. Instead of panic, the world's leaders had made an unprecedented decision. Earth would hide its true technological progress, presenting itself as a primitive civilization, while secretly preparing for the day when first contact would inevitably come. The recovered alien technology had accelerated human development beyond imagination. Quantum computing, gravity manipulation, faster than light travel, all carefully hidden behind a facade of normal technological progression. Every satellite launch carried hidden weapons, every space mission concealed true capabilities, and every major nation maintained vast underground facilities filled with technology that would seem like magic to the public. Their broadcasting director announced Communications Chief Yuki Tanaka. Standard first contact protocols, just as we predicted. They're identifying themselves as the Kraxan Cooperative, seeking peaceful interaction with our emerging civilization. Sarah watched as the alien fleet moved deeper into the solar system, their formation suggesting both confidence and caution. They truly believed they were dealing with a primitive species taking its first steps into space. They had no idea that humanity's quantum sensors had detected their approach 6 months ago, or that Earth's combined defense forces had been quietly mobilizing ever since. Send the prepared response, Sarah ordered. Let's show them exactly what they expect to see. A planet unified in awe and excitement at first contact. Major Zhao, status of our orbital platforms. All systems dormant but ready, Director. Quantum-shielded weapons platforms throughout the asteroid belt are tracking the alien fleet. The Mars defense grid is powered down, but can be activated within 60 seconds. Lunar bases are maintaining minimal power signatures. The deception had to be perfect. 300 years of preparation came down to these crucial moments. If the Kraxan discovered Earth's true capabilities too soon, everything would be lost. The plan relied on letting them believe they held the upper hand right until the moment humanity chose to reveal itself. Director, Dr. Webb called out, his voice tense. We're detecting energy signatures consistent with weapons charging in their forward vessels. They're maintaining peaceful broadcasts, but their actions suggest they're preparing for possible hostile contact. Sarah nodded. As expected, they're not taking chances, even with what they perceive as a primitive civilization. Maintain our current posture. Let them think their caution is unnecessary. The massive underground command center hummed with controlled activity as personnel monitored every aspect of the approaching fleet. Deep beneath the lunar surface, quantum computers processed vast amounts of data, analyzing alien technology and comparing it to centuries of theoretical models. Message from the Security Council. Director, Yuki announced. Operation Silent Victory is officially authorized. All participating nations have confirmed readiness. Sarah straightened her uniform, thinking of the generations of scientists, soldiers, and leaders who had maintained this deception for 3 centuries. Humanity had learned patience, had buried its pride, had hidden its achievements, all for this moment. Send acknowledgement to all commands, she ordered. Initiate Phase 1 of Silent Victory. Let's welcome our visitors properly. As the alien fleet approached Mars, they remained completely unaware that they were sailing into the most elaborate trap in human history. Earth's greatest deception was about to begin, and Sarah Chen would orchestrate every move. The deception. Admiral Craven of the Kraxan Cooperative stood on the command deck of his flagship, the Stellar Ascendancy, studying the holographic representation of the primitive planet before him. These humans had barely mastered nuclear fission. Their spacecraft still relied on chemical propulsion, and their primary means of communication was electromagnetic radiation. Status report on their defensive capabilities, he commanded, mandibles clicking in what his crew recognized as satisfaction. Minimal threats detected, Admiral, his tactical officer responded. Their orbital assets consist primarily of communication satellites and crude observation platforms. We're detecting approximately 2,000 pieces of debris from their early space exploration attempts. Their most advanced weapons appear to be nuclear-tipped ballistic missiles with limited range. The humans' response to their first contact message had been predictably enthusiastic, filled with the wonder and excitement typical of species encountering advanced civilizations for the first time. Already, their primitive global information network, something they called the Internet, was buzzing with news of the alien arrival. What Craven couldn't know was that every piece of data his sensors collected had been carefully crafted by Earth's quantum computers. The debris field his ships detected contained thousands of dormant weapon platforms disguised as space junk. The primitive satellites carried quantum-shielded warheads capable of piercing the most advanced alien defenses, and the Internet chatter was being generated by AI systems designed to present exactly the reaction expected from a primitive civilization. In Lunar Command, Director Chen watched the alien fleet's approach with growing anticipation. "Status of Operation Chimera?" she asked. "The bait is set," Major Zhao responded. "We've arranged an accidental nuclear launch from one of our submarine platforms. The missile will appear to malfunction and detonate harmlessly in the atmosphere, but it should give them the excuse they're looking for to initiate their standard containment protocols." It was a calculated risk, but their intelligence suggested the Kraxan Cooperative had a pattern of using such incidents to justify establishing a protective presence around developing worlds. The submarine launch would appear to be a nervous human military testing their weapons in response to the alien arrival. Aboard the Stellar Ascendancy, alarms suddenly blared. "Admiral, the primitives have launched a nuclear weapon," the tactical officer announced. "Trajectory suggests it appears to be a test launch, but the missile is behaving erratically." Craven's outer membranes rippled with anticipation. This was exactly the sort of incident that justified intervention. "Deploy containment units," he ordered. "Standard protocol for primitive nuclear capabilities. Let's show these humans how a civilized species handles such weapons." 3 sleek vessels detached from the Kraxan fleet, their energy fields humming as they moved to intercept the missile. They extended their containment fields, prepared to safely neutralize the nuclear device and demonstrate their technological superiority to the watching humans. The missile detonated precisely as planned, its nuclear signature masking a burst of quantum particles that penetrated the alien vessel's sensors. Within microseconds, Earth's quantum computers had mapped their entire defensive system. "Infiltration successful," Dr. Webb announced in Lunar Command. "We have complete schematics of their containment technology. Their defensive algorithms are impressive, but nowhere near as advanced as we theorized. We can bypass them at will." Sarah Chen nodded. "Prepare the next phase. Let's see how they respond to a primitive civilization making its first stumbling attempts at unified planetary defense." The next 12 hours saw humanity put on its greatest performance. World leaders made impassioned speeches about unity in the face of the unknown. Military units around the globe engaged in obvious but seemingly uncoordinated movements. Social media exploded with a carefully crafted mix of wonder, fear, conspiracy theories, and calls for peace, all generated by quantum AIs that had spent decades studying human communication patterns. The Kraxan fleet watched it all, their sensors recording every transmission, their analysts interpreting every movement. They saw exactly what humanity wanted them to see: a species struggling to cope with first contact, their society simultaneously reaching for the stars and turning to their tribal instincts. They're positioning themselves for orbital insertion, Major Jao reported. Tactical analysis suggests they're preparing to establish a protective presence around our major military installations. Perfect, Sarah responded. Initiate Phase 3. Let's give them a reason to come closer. Across Earth's surface, hidden quantum transmitters began broadcasting subtle energy signatures designed to intrigue, but not alarm the alien sensors. The signatures mimicked early experiments with gravity manipulation, the kind of technology that would suggest humanity was on the verge of a breakthrough, but still centuries behind the Kraxen. Admiral Craven's analysts quickly detected the emissions. These readings suggest they're further along than we initially estimated, his science officer reported. They may achieve basic gravity manipulation within a decade. Excellent. Craven's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sign of excitement in his species. This justifies direct intervention. Prepare the diplomatic course. It's time we helped guide these humans toward proper technological development. In Lunar Command, Sarah Chen watched as the alien fleet began their final approach. Everything was proceeding according to plan. The Kraxen's arrogance and sense of superiority was leading them exactly where humanity wanted them. All defense grid units report ready, Major Zhao announced quietly. Quantum shields are operating at peak efficiency. The moment they cross the lunar orbit, we'll have them surrounded. 300 years of preparation, Sarah mused. 3 centuries of hiding our true capabilities, of maintaining this elaborate deception. All for this moment. She straightened her uniform. Send the final authorization code. The moment they commit their fleet to orbital insertion, Operation Silent Victory goes live. Above the Earth, the Kraxen fleet moved with confidence toward their destination, unaware that they were about to learn why humanity had chosen patience over pride, deception over demonstration, and cunning over confrontation. The greatest reveal in human history was about to begin. First strike. The Kraxen fleet's first indication that something was wrong came as they crossed the lunar orbit. Their sensors detected a brief energy fluctuation, something that should have been impossible from a pre-spacefaring civilization. Admiral, the tactical officer's voice carried an edge of concern. We're detecting anomalous readings from several of the orbital debris fragments. Before Admiral Craven could respond, space itself seemed to ripple. Pieces of what his ships had classified as space junk suddenly shed their disguises. Hundreds of quantum-shielded weapon platforms emerged from their dormant state, their targeting systems already locked onto the Kraxen vessels. Impossible, Craven whispered, his mandibles frozen in shock. Their technology level, they couldn't possibly. His words were cut off as the first wave of Earth's defense grid activated. Quantum-tipped missiles pierced Kraxen shields as if they didn't exist. The aliens' most advanced defensive systems, designed to stop kinetic and energy weapons, proved useless against technology they had never encountered before. In Lunar Command, Director Chen watched the initial exchange with clinical precision. Status of Phase 3. First wave achieving 89% effectiveness, Major Zhao reported. Their shields are adapting, but exactly as we predicted. Quantum penetration remains absolute. The Kraxen fleet scattered, their formation breaking as they attempted to regroup under the unexpected assault. Their return fire was impressive. Energy beams and plasma torpedoes that would have annihilated any normal defensive system. But Earth's quantum shields, reverse-engineered from 3 centuries of studying alien technology, absorbed the attacks without strain. They're broadcasting. Communications Chief Tanaka announced. Multiple channels, all frequencies. They're demanding to know how we acquired this level of technology. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. Send the prepared response. Let's show them exactly who they're dealing with. Across every communication channel, Earth broadcast its message. Kraxen Cooperative, you entered our solar system under the assumption of technological superiority. That assumption was incorrect. For 300 years, humanity has hidden its true capabilities, knowing this day would come. You are now experiencing a fraction of our defensive capabilities. Your next actions will determine whether you experience the full extent of our offensive ones." Admiral Craven stared at the message in disbelief. His fleet, the pride of the Cooperative's expansion force, was being systematically dismantled by weapons they couldn't even properly detect. Status of long-range communications. Quantum interference is blocking all attempts to contact the Cooperative, his communications officer reported, panic evident in their voice. "We're being isolated. Launch the autonomous defense drones," Craven ordered. "All ships, initiate emergency temporal shields." The space around Earth's orbit filled with thousands of small, A-driven combat units, each equipped with the Cooperative's most advanced weapon systems. Under normal circumstances, such a force would have been enough to subjugate a dozen primitive worlds. In Lunar Command, Dr. Webb studied the alien counterattack with interest. "Their drone technology is impressive," he noted, "but their AI architecture is vulnerable to quantum manipulation." "Permission to initiate Project Override." Sarah nodded. "Do it. Let's show them why we spent 50 years perfecting quantum AI integration." The effect was immediate and devastating. Earth's quantum computers reached out through subspace, their processing power overwhelming the relatively primitive AI cores of the Kraxan drones. Within seconds, thousands of autonomous weapons turned on their creators, their programming completely rewritten by human quantum algorithms. By the first ones, Craven breathed as he watched his own drones begin attacking his fleet. What are these humans? The answer came in the form of a new signal, this one targeted directly to his command ship. Director Chen's hologram appeared on his bridge, her expression calm but resolute. "Admiral Craven, your fleet is currently surrounded by over 5,000 quantum weapon platforms. Your defensive drones are under our control. Your shields cannot stop our weapons. Your faster-than-light capabilities have been neutralized by our quantum interference fields. I suggest we discuss terms." Terms. Craven's translator struggled to convey the mix of rage and disbelief in his voice. "You deceived us. You presented yourselves as primitives while harboring technology that rivals or exceeds our own." "Of course we did," Sarah replied. "When your scout ship crashed in 1947, we learned two things. We weren't alone in the universe, and we couldn't trust anyone else to guarantee our survival. So we chose patience over pride. We studied your technology, improved upon it, and prepared for this day. Now you have a choice. Retreat and inform the Cooperative that Earth is not a suitable candidate for incorporation, or find out exactly how much more advanced our military technology has become in 300 years of careful preparation." As if to emphasize her point, one of Earth's quantum platforms demonstrated its capabilities on an uninhabited section of lunar surface. The resulting explosion didn't just create a crater. It temporarily warped the fabric of space-time itself. "Director," Major Zhao interrupted, "we're detecting power buildups in their secondary ships. They appear to be preparing for a suicide attack." Sarah's expression hardened. "Admiral, let me be clear. If any of your vessels initiate a self-destruct sequence, we will interpret it as an act of war. I don't think you want to find out what humanity is truly capable of when we stop playing defense." Counter-offensive. For several tense moments, the fate of two civilizations hung in the balance. Admiral Craven's compound eyes studied Director Chen's hologram, searching for any sign of deception or weakness. He found none. "Stand down all self-destruct sequences," he finally ordered, his mandibles clicking in what might have been resignation or respect. "Open a secure channel to the human command center." In Lunar Command, Sarah Chen watched as the alien fleet powered down their weapons. But something about their behavior pattern nagged at her trained instincts. "Dr. Webb, full quantum scan of their communications. Look for any subspace frequencies we might have missed." The results came back within seconds, and Sarah's eyes narrowed. "They're still transmitting. Quantum burst communications, heavily encrypted." Major Zhao, analysis. "The encryption is unusual, Director. It doesn't match any known Kraxan protocols we studied. In fact, it's not military encryption at all. It appears to be. He paused, double-checking his readings, scientific data. Before Sarah could process this information, a new signal cut through all channels, one that neither human nor Kraxan encryption could block. A third voice entered the confrontation, speaking in perfect English and perfect Kraxan simultaneously. Well done, both of you. You've passed the first stage of the test. In the sudden silence that followed, both humans and Kraxans found their sophisticated communication systems hijacked by something far more advanced than either civilization had encountered. A new hologram appeared in both command centers, a being of pure energy, its form constantly shifting between patterns that hurt the eyes to observe. Director Chen, Admiral Craven. The entity continued, I am Observer Omega of the Galactic Council, and you have both just participated in an evaluation that has been ongoing for several centuries. Sarah felt her carefully maintained composure slip for the first time. Evaluation. Indeed, the energy being seemed to pulse with something like amusement. Did you truly believe that Scout ship crashed in New Mexico by accident? Or that the Kraxan Cooperative randomly chose your solar system for expansion? Admiral Craven's translator struggled to convey his mixture of shock and outrage. Our entire mission was orchestrated. Our fleet's purpose was to test humanity's response to a technologically superior force. Yes, Observer Omega confirmed. Just as humanity's response tested the Kraxan Cooperative's ability to handle unexpected technological advancement in supposedly primitive species, both of your civilizations are being considered for elevation to full Galactic Council membership. In Lunar Command, the implications hit Sarah like a physical force. The quantum technology we developed was built upon carefully placed breadcrumbs we left in that scout ship, yes. Though I must say, your species developed it far beyond our expectations, and the Kraxan's containment protocols were similarly guided by Council influence, though their application was entirely their own innovation. Major Zhao's voice was tight with controlled anger. 300 years of preparation, of hiding our capabilities, of maintaining this deception. It was all part of your test. Not just a test, Observer Omega corrected. A necessity. The galaxy is full of young civilizations with immense potential and immense capacity for destruction. The Council needs to know how such civilizations will handle first contact scenarios. Will they rush to war, attempt immediate dominance, or will they show patience, wisdom, and restraint? The beam's form shifted again, patterns becoming more complex. Humanity chose to hide its strength while building its defenses, showing both wisdom and restraint. The Kraxan Cooperative, despite its technological superiority, chose a path of guided advancement rather than immediate conquest. Both approaches demonstrate the qualities we seek in Council members. Admiral Craven's next words carried a weight of realization. The drone AI architecture, you deliberately left it vulnerable to quantum manipulation. Of course, Observer Omega seemed pleased. We needed to ensure the confrontation would end without actual destruction. The real test was never about military capability. It was about how both sides would handle a first contact scenario that challenged their preconceptions. Sarah found her diplomatic training asserting itself despite her shock. And now, what happens next in this evaluation? Now, the energy being's form stabilized slightly. You both face a choice. You can retreat to your separate domains, nursing wounded pride and suspicion. Or you can acknowledge that you've both demonstrated exactly the qualities that make for successful Council members: wisdom, restraint, and the ability to adapt to unexpected situations. The truth unveiled. The silence in both command centers was profound as humans and Kraxans alike processed Observer Omega's revelation. 3 centuries of preparation, strategy, and deception, all orchestrated as part of a greater test. Director Sarah Chen found herself reassessing every decision, every technological breakthrough, every carefully maintained secret in light of this new information. Before you make your choice, Observer Omega continued, its energy form pulsing with complex patterns, there is one final truth you both should understand. The quantum technology that humanity developed, the containment protocols the Kraxan perfected, they're more significant than you realize. Together, they form the foundation of something far more important. The being gestured, and a new hologram appeared in both command centers. It showed a map of the galaxy, but unlike anything either civilization had seen before. Streams of energy flowed between star systems in complex patterns, forming a vast network of interconnected points. This is the true nature of our galaxy, Observer Omega explained. What you see are quantum temporal flows, rivers of space-time that connect everything. The Council doesn't just govern civilizations, we maintain the very fabric of space-time itself. Humanity's quantum manipulation technology and the Kraxan's containment fields are two halves of the same whole, the basic building blocks of galactic administration. Admiral Craven's translator struggled to convey his mix of awe and understanding. Our containment fields, they're not just for managing primitive technologies. They're for stabilizing temporal anomalies. Sarah finished, the pieces finally falling into place. And our quantum technology isn't just for communication and weapons. It's for detecting and manipulating these space-time rivers. Precisely. Observer Omega's form brightened. Each civilization we evaluate brings unique perspectives and capabilities to the Council. Some, like the Kraxan, excel at maintaining order and stability. Others, like humanity, demonstrate remarkable ability to innovate and adapt. Together, they help maintain the delicate balance that keeps our galaxy functioning. In Lunar Command, Dr. Webb's fingers flew across his console as he analyzed the new data. These energy flows, they're similar to the quantum signatures we detected in the original scout ship. We've been studying pieces of this network all along without realizing its true purpose. And our containment protocols, Admiral Craven added, they were always meant to interface with these quantum streams. Our entire approach to technological development was guided toward this moment, Observer Omega confirmed, but not controlled. Every breakthrough, every innovation, they were your achievements. We merely ensured you had the foundational knowledge necessary to reach this point. Sarah studied the galactic map, noting how the energy flows seemed to pulse in perfect synchronization. These rivers of space-time, they're degrading, aren't they? That's why you need new council members. The energy being's form flickered in what might have been surprise. Very perceptive, Director Chen. Yes, the network requires constant maintenance and occasional renewal. The galaxy is expanding, space-time is stretching, and new civilizations must regularly join the Council to help maintain the balance. And that's why you tested us the way you did. Major Joe spoke up. You needed to know we could work together even after initial conflict, that we could move past deception and confrontation to achieve something greater. Indeed, Observer Omega's form stabilized into a more comprehensible pattern. The Council cannot afford internal conflicts or lingering resentments. Its members must be able to cooperate despite their differences, to see beyond their immediate concerns to the greater good of all civilizations. Admiral Craven's next words carried the weight of centuries of his civilization's history. The cooperative has always believed in guiding younger species toward their potential. We never understood the true significance of that mission until now. And humanity's choice to hide its capabilities. Sarah added, it wasn't just about self-preservation. It was about understanding when to show strength and when to show restraint. Observer Omega's form pulsed with approval. Now you begin to understand. The question is not just whether you will join the Council, but how you will use your combined knowledge to help maintain the very fabric of space-time itself. Sarah looked at the quantum weapon platforms surrounding the Kraxan fleet, then at the alien vessels with their advanced containment fields. What had begun as a potential conflict now seemed like an opportunity, a chance to be part of something far greater than either civilization had imagined. Admiral Craven, she said, switching to a private channel. I believe we have much to discuss about the future of our civilizations. The Admiral's response carried a new tone of respect and understanding. Indeed, Director Chen. Perhaps we should begin by combining our knowledge rather than our weapons. Observer Omega's form brightened once more. And that precisely is why you were chosen. Welcome to the next stage of galactic civilization. The real work is about to begin. As the energy beam's form faded, Sarah Chen looked out at the stars through the Lunar Command's quantum-enhanced viewing screen. They seemed different now, knowing what flowed between them. Rivers of space-time that her civilization would help maintain, protecting the very fabric of the galaxy itself. Humanity had prepared for 3 centuries to defend itself against alien threats. Instead, they had proven themselves worthy of something far greater. The deception was over, but the true adventure was just beginning. The end.